again, it was something we talked about before, and there you go, there's the Yuumi first pick. Now, I really want Liberty here to kind of deny away the Olaf. Obviously, Kinzin is known for his Wukong, we know that, but I just don't think you can give away that Yuumi Olaf combo. It's such a strong combo. You go for the Corki. I would like to see an Olaf here as well. They go, oh, okay, so they're just going to go for Corki and Lucian, so that means that one of them is probably going to go in the duo lane, one of them is probably going to go in the mid lane. Boss actually plays quite a lot of AD carries as well. He's known for his Corki. He can also play Lucian as well, so that's a huge flex pick for Liberty.
And BRU did set this up because they did ban away the Camille, which is a champion that can single out the Olaf with that Hextech ultimatum, of course. But Liberty, you know, the champions that they picked, which is the Lucian and the Corki, they do pretty well into the Olaf as well. They do a lot of damage per second, and you can see BRU doesn't care. They don't fall for it. They're not gonna pick the Olaf. They just picked that early game Lee Sin.
I just have to say, I thought I was seeing things, but BRU, is that like war paint on their faces that they have? Or like they have like, check out Noel over there. He's got like, is that real? Am I seeing things? Is it a...
No, it is real.
it's real.
When they picked the Ashe this time it's BRU picking the Ashe.
This is so interesting though.
Yeah, that's very interesting to see because Yuumi Ashe, you know, it can work, but it's not necessarily the combo that you want to have, as Ashe doesn't really deal the most damage, and there we see it again. It's the Wukong yet again. Good champion against the Ashe, however, because the clone could potentially body block an Ashe arrow. I don't really like how BRU has drafted this Ashe, to be very honest, because they do need a different kind of champion to attach the Yuumi to, because they don't really have like a major hyper carry to do that on.
I mean, you say that. I mean, I think with Ashe, with now lethal tempo, you can go for like a more on-hit build. You can go for more like an AD build. We see a lot of like Man Immune 24s. I know it's really popular in NA, but there's also like new builds coming out now. We know Storm Razor, Infinity Edge, Blades of the Rune King, items like this as well. And honestly, if Ashe can scale now with the new lethal tempo rune, giving her more attack speed with her first ability as well with the can't remember the name of it, but where she fires out a bunch of arrows at the same time. She can be a late game hyper carry that Yuumi can sit on. I think I agree that it's probably not the best, but it's definitely something that can work.
Oh yeah, definitely. And is the Yasuo gonna happen? That's the real question, right? Like, Liberty could be going for some sort of an all-in composition as well. But they have the Wukong already. Yeah, you're seeing it right, Mika. You're seeing it right. They have the Wukong already. This time they do ban out the Ahri. They don't want to be dealing with the Ahri anymore. So it's gonna be interesting to see what champions everyone is gonna be picking last.
There's two champions that Buriram played last game as well. You know, the Shannon and Ahri, just taking away what they're comfortable with, I guess, taking away what they won with last game. But I mean, Buriram is coming up with pretty much a completely new draft. I mean, this is all about really the early aggression for Buriram, which we don't really know too much about their early aggression. They're more of like a mid to late game, you know, playing for objectives as well. But I look at this draft by Buriram, I'm thinking, okay, Lee Sin, early game jungler. Ashe, when she hits a level 5, she wants to use her ultimate to try and get picks around the map. The Yuumi as well, probably wants to scale a little bit, but it's still really, really good in the early game. But Buriram right now, they're really, you know, hurting the champion.
Oh,
Soraka.
A Soraka for Mano Freezer.
One today.
Yeah, and it's Mano Freezer playing the Soraka. Now, I gotta say, you know, do I like this? Not really. I want to see Mano Freezer on the play, making champions like the Leonas, you know, like the Alistar, those types of champions. It's gonna be interesting to see how Mano Freezer is gonna be playing around that Soraka. And I'm expecting another tank coming through from Liberty as well, as it works incredibly well with the Soraka, because you can face tank the Ashe arrow as a tank, and then Soraka is constantly gonna be healing you up, and you can survive that initial engage from BRU. So it's going to be interesting to see. Oh, and it's an Akali as well from BRU.
Akali. Is this the first that we've... No, this isn't the first that we've had here in Icons, but this is the first that we've seen so far today. I believe we've seen another Akali previously. But I'm actually really curious as to why Liberty was able to let Yuumi get through, given that they know how much of a threat what the Jess is on the Yuumi. And BRU are definitely feeling it.
Okay. Something's happening back there.
Something's happening. Something's happening.
It's the Liberty effect. They have so much energy. Even BRU is getting the energy out of them. You can see like both teams are just enjoying the show right here. It's 1-0 BRU right now, but both teams are just having a blast right now. So I assume Liberty is going to be picking a tank right here. Sure, there is an Irelia, which is some semi-tank, but interesting. We haven't seen much Irelia yet.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a support dash coming in.
It's gonna be freaks on Irelia. We've seen a lot of Garen and Darius from him, but how good is this Irelia gonna be?
Yeah, these two teams. I mean, again, I'm not really too sure about, you know, I mean, I said at the start of the series, I was like, you know, these two are the craziest supports we have. They pick Yuumi, they pick Soraka, they pick Karma. Where's the aggressive supports? Where's the sets? Where's the Leonas? They're
saving it. They're saving it for groups, possibly. I feel now.
To be honest, I really like this Akali pick, though. I think you really want to try and get onto this Soraka in the backline, and Akali is the perfect champion for that, because if you can shut down that Soraka,
ready when it lands. It's a way to fight back against the global powers that Buriram are using to initiate onto Freaks. And I think that is the big key that Liberty are pivoting with this draft. Obviously, Kona and Boss are taking both strong marksmen that are going to, you know, be able to sustain themselves through the early parts of the game. But all eyes are on Freaks, who had a very, very dominant game on the Garen. But it's hard to really carry a game as a Garen. You can't necessarily 1v9, but what can you 1v9 with if you get fed on it? An
Aurelia. Exactly, and if you're assisted well, there's a 1v1 happening here in the mid lane.
Wait, I think Kona's got... Oh, Kona was so close! I don't know if it was a canceled auto attack or the auto attack timer didn't come up. And now Golden Feet, he's got the range. He knows that Kona doesn't have flash. Oh my, the style, the BM points. Did you see Golden Feet?
I saw.
He swagged on back. He said, "Hold up, let me check my stance.
A little bit.
Let me get a stretch in.
Let me
stretch out the quads and then hit coup. Right in the kicker.
That's exactly what happened, and the timing was just so perfect because Kona was just, I gotta get to the honey fruit. I gotta get my vitamins. Nope. Denied by Golden Feet here. That's such an explosive start for this game too, Rafa.
And punishing the fact that Kona was so close to taking out Archony in the 1v1. You're gonna hope for the sake of Liberty that they are not deterred by it. Meanwhile, it is Freaks that is being the surge of confidence right now for Liberty. Snowballing off of that Garen pick, and now clearly in control of the 1v1 against Noel.
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult early game for Noel, especially if there's 3 people going to dive you.
And there's no one from the side of Buriram that can protect Noel. It's an easy dive. This time, there is no botched dive from the side of Liberty. And now they're pushing in a huge wave, giving even more resources to Freaks.
We'll have to see what the response is for Buriram, though. I mean, they already got first blood. They already got a kill earlier in mid lane. But it seems to me that this could potentially be a race to get more turret plates. But the wave clear coming from Boss is going to be very difficult to do. And
look at the positioning, though, from Buriram. Golden Feet has already ceded control of the jungle quadrant that he was invading, whereas Kinzin, he set up a tent.
Yeah.
He's ready to acquire rent in the blue side jungle of Golden Feet. He's like, hey, I got a realtor. I got some estates pitched up. I'm going to take more camps, and I'm going to make a return trip to Noel in the top side of the map.
But I think what's happening here from Kinzin and Freaks is that they haven't exactly marinated Noel enough yet, because he still has barrier, still has flash. The first gank was supposed to burn a summoner or 2, but Noel kept that in place and made sure. But he died, by the way. He still died earlier.
The fact that he didn't burn those summoner spells, though, he already acknowledged that it'd be to no avail to burn the summoner spells. At least now he has the extra safety where he has a health advantage, on top of the fact that perfect execution is available. This time around, Golden Feet, after alleviating resources from the bottom side of the map, is here on the top side to answer back and prevent Freaks from snowballing. But it's going to be a 2v2 skirmish. Golden Feet finds the Sonic Wave, but it is the kick, though, from Golden Feet! That kicks Kinzin right out of the game, and Freaks cannot answer back.
That was a beautiful angle. I mean, it could have gone through 2 situations where who do you attack first? Who do you prioritize? But that was a beautiful angle coming from Golden Feet. At the end of the day, they saw Mana Freaks moving towards the top side. They decided to back away. They're fine and happy with that 1 kill.
And while Freaks doesn't go down in the exchange, it is imperative that Buriram prevent this Aurelia from ever getting the snowball. Golden Feet, leaving no room for chance or error, is here to put Freaks into the ground.
Gotta love what BRU is doing. Golden Feet hammering down the aggression. Kinzin, even though he plays a temporary camp on his jungle, but Golden Feet, after an attack, one after another, just hammered down, made sure that Freaks also fell.
And this is the power of having something like a Lee Sin, where you're able to immediately leverage that early power against the counterpart in Wukong, where your only power is light skirmishing and a Cyclone engage. Outside of that, you are weak compared to a Lee Sin in those lethality exchanges, where the Lee Sin can 100-0 so many champions early on.
Exactly. And this could be part 2. Golden Feet, Archony.
4-on-3 in the dive, but the Enchanted Crystal is dodged. Golden Feet trying to line up the bowling pin kick once again. It is Archony that is tanking up the tower, and Mount of Frieza is the one that falls. But me on the other side of the map, it is Kinzin and Freaks looking to dive Noah under the tower. The Cyclone is there. Noah almost outplayed. playing the Monkey King, but Freaks and Kinze barely make the dive work.
That was too close. That seemed to be too familiar from earlier in the series with John with the 1v2. Now almost with Noel with the Akali. But this is going to be a trade of objectives this time around, and I think this is the correct play, especially the fact that you are not ready going up against, you know, what the Jess with the final chapter if you're all clumped together. Take note, Freaks, Kinzen, they want to dive into the fight and be in the middle of it all.
And Kinzen is making a repeat gank here just in case he needs it to secure first brick. Note here that Buriram are close to taking first brick of their own. Oh, but Manafritza is here to provide the ambulance. Cold Defeat lining up Sonic Wave, but there's the heal. Whoa. Does he have the silence? It's still not enough damage though. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow, and it's what the Jess that keeps Cold Defeat alive and topped off. But Package is here for the second win. It's Boss looking to make the reinforcements happen. What the Jess needs a new driver, but doesn't make the taxi in time.
Yeah, Cold Feet try to meet what the Jets in the middle, but it's too late. Just a lot of huge damage out from the side of Liberty.
You can't stay here, Cold Feet. I know you've been kind of styling on Liberty for a while, but you can't style on them when you've got a low amount of health, and look at Freaks, he is just eating BVV alive. One more Blade Surge, and the healing from Manafritza tops him off once again. This is first brick for Liberty. This is them fighting back with every breath against Buriram.
Very true. This is an amazing start for Liberty. They've managed to get Freaks a couple of kills as well, just to try and even out what Noel's able to build up because of Cold Feet's constant pressure. This is a very close game so far in the 6-minute mark with just, in comparison to game number 1, Rafa, the game spun out of control so fast, but this time it's very stable.
Buriram exploded off to the races, remember, but this Enchanted Crystal Arrow start from BVV. Final chapter doesn't quite line up for Boss to be rooted down. Kinzen with the Cyclone disengages the fight, and Buriram lose all attempts to be able to knock out any members of Liberty, but that doesn't mean the turret can't go down. The map is opened up further, but it is Kona on the bottom side of the map, trading back a tower.
Gotta love the movements from Liberty. Freaks.
Oh no, Freaks is in a bad world of hurt. No, with the perfect execution, outplaying the flawless duet, Cold Feet with the extra damage. And now Liberty. Freaks has not been able to snowball quite as well as Liberty would have liked. In fact, a lot of the gold is actually on Kinzen's Wukong this time around.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, Kona wanted to go home.
He's not going home. Avert your eyes, Riku.
I'm
Run! Run, Kona! The wish is not going to provide any relief that will actually turn around the fight. It was close, but Archony's got a giant sword of justice and true damage.
Is it over?
Yeah, you can look.
Oh, okay. All right, my eyes are open now.
Well, I'm considering that you are the WCS representative, I guess you can witness Buriram.
That's true. I should open my eyes even more because BRU is doing such a good job. Arrow from downtown.
Okay, it kind of misses, but it's okay. Kinzen still might go down in these efforts here. Cyclone's doing a lot of damage, but it's still a 1v3. Cannot withstand the onslaught.
This is the power of an Ashe. You're able to initiate, get someone stunned, and then get the final chapter for that big stun lock. I love the responses coming from BRU. Look at the itemization.
Oh God, Noel, he has the shuriken back, goes in for perfect execution. Manafritza has been eliminated. The answer back from Kona finds an answer back, 1v1, but now here comes Archony. He's flashing in. He's got the movement speed. He's got the dunk. And Liberty, once again on the back foot, down 5,000 gold.
You cannot run away from the Ashe, the slows, the volleys, every single thing. Coming from BRU just prevents you from doing anything, from running away, from escaping, especially do not have disengage.
And the beautiful thing about the way Buriram United are playing, despite admirable moves from Liberty to fight back, to have responses, it seems that Buriram look at that and say, oh, you want to fight back? You want to fight back? Okay, well, we can fight back. We can play dirty. And look at Noel, already isolating one of the key targets here in this Soraka, giving Manafritza no room.
It's insane to me that the way,
we got more fighting here. Kinzen already used the Cyclone, preventing it. Wish comes in, a second win. He's healing up and he's managing to stay alive. Manafritza keeping him alive. And it looks like they're able to get a shutdown on the Cold Feet. They're turning it around. Freaks is onto the back line. BVV's under trouble. Noel, can he turn it around? Sure, can backflip. Finds one. It's at assassination,
Silence.
but he can't do through them all! What the hell just happened? That's a prime
Gaming
ace
ace!
for Liberty!
What just happened? I told you, we've reiterated before, this is a game that is not in favor of BRU the same way it was in game number 1. All the kills went towards Golden Feet. Yes, Noel is able to burst Kona down in that instance, but you cannot forget the fact there's still a lot of damage coming from Liberty.
Golden Feed throws out a casual sonic wave, didn't have vision of the pit, says thank you for the dragon, I'll take that gladly, and now Liberty, they're not only sheepishly on the run, they're running for their lives. Noel is looking for revenge for the last fight. He might go down from the Cyclone, the Kinzen with the Cyclone back, he trades one, but it is Buriram United. You can hear them popping off in the stadium.
That is the most casual Dragon Steal from Elysian that I've ever witnessed in Wild Rift.
And it's a reverse Prime Gaming ace as well for Buriram. Liberty, once again, we had just said it. Every time Liberty finds ways to surprise Buriram, they come right out of the gate saying, yeah, we're gonna one-up you. We're gonna do you one better.
It's just insane how consistent Buriram does that every single time. You get to see Liberty fighting back. But let's take a look at that again. After the steal, arrow again, very easy. Everybody's still clumped together. And double kill for What the Chest on this Yuumi. Again, the chasing power that BRU has is just so easy. There's a lot of dashes, there's a lot of gap closers rather, and the fact that you've got, again, the arrow having to initiate wherever Triple V is.
Absolute heartbreak for Liberty in the wake of what seemed like a pivotal turning point in this game too. But it's Buriram United who, it's just another day in the office. You already see the pop-offs from the teams and of course, the moment of heartbreak for Liberty, where they thought that finally they had clawed themselves back into this game, and it's easily reducted by Buriram.
But look at the Wild Tour special though. Look at Kona pushing the mid lane tower, and this prevents BRU from overstaying a topside.
Liberty still keeping their heads in this game, making sure that they recognize that there's still a way to claw themselves back into victory, to bring themselves to match point against Buriram United in this best of 3. The key is focusing split push towers. Remember in game 1, they were down 10,000 gold and almost being able to rip the game away from Buriram with a almost miracle backdoor, but they have to work through it once again.
Yeah, we get to see Kona trying his best.
Flash Demacian Justice. Not enough damage though. Monofritza with the clutch wish will save Liberty's jungler from going down at the cost of a turret.
Yeah, really nicely done by Liberty here. Trying to fight back. There's a 1v1 at the bottom portion of the map, by the way.
Kona and Noah were fighting to the death. Both of them managed to get out alive.
Oh, there's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's
Hawkshot. Man, that doesn't hit as much. I thought it was gonna really hit. It was gonna be a super crusher, but
it was fun.
Happened.
I did not expect it.
Well, I'm glad that you appreciate my joke, even though it didn't deliver. I was going for a TJ Omo moment because there's moments during their cast where they kept it light and they cracked it.
What is a very definition of a TJ and Omo moment?
You can't define it. You have to experience it firsthand.
You have to experience it. Gotcha.
14 minutes into the game, Liberty still on the back foot here, down 6,000 gold. 2 Dragon Swords inside the Buriram. A Rift Herald was unleashed, only managing to get 1 turret back. Argeny on the back foot, final chapter, trying to root the members of Liberty, preventing them from advancing forward. It's an Enchantment Crystal Arrow, forcing them back, but the Kinzen with the Cyclone, no coming in with the flank, lots of low health bars, and whoa! No way! With the most amazing, perfect execution! That was precision perfect! A quadra kill!
My God, Noel, what a way to end this game! What a way to end the series, and what a way to advance next to their group.
Buriram doing WCS proud, doing the Southeast Asia region proud, group stage.
Look how happy he is. What a way, again, to end it. I saw such an explosive team fight right there. And again, Buriram, I'm so proud of their growth. And now they advance. They're all smiles and
I
laughs.
think with the Akali pick, it's great against Liberty's comp. You know, you want someone to dive in onto the back line, onto that Soraka, and that's exactly what Noel did as well. You know, struggled a little bit. I think at one point he was like 4 and 6, so he doesn't really do, you know, too well in terms of the early game. But Akali's not really an early game champion. Akali loves to scale into the mid and late game, and that quadra kill right at the end as well. Refa went absolutely crazy. You know, Refa Riku both went absolutely crazy. You know,
He's
the
still
quadra
going
kill,
crazy.
yeah, the quadra kill, the execution that went, and he just got an instant quadra kill. I was hoping, I think you were saying, man, it seems like pentakill, like.
Oh, but it felt
was so
good to see that quadra kill felt good. You can see there's a 23,000 damage on the Akali there. And what is it? 19.7 thousand damage from the support Yuumi as well? What?
Wow. Yeah. That is insane, but that is definitely, I mean, it's just what the Jess. Again, SCA doing SCA things, and definitely what the Jess doing Jess things. And I mean, we brought up earlier again that this full AP Yuumi build is not news to what the Jess. I think we're going to see it a whole lot more, as Stuart mentioned. But